And good morning. The purpose of the video is to kind of start helping you all become comfortable with using the Moose template. One of the things is that by default, it opens this third person template and you've got this default mannequin that shows up. I'm going to give you some pointers and hints how to set your template so that you can kind of start at the place you want to be and test at the place you want to be using the avatar you want to use. In this particular case, we're going to be talking about the default avatar and a female version of the avatar. Um, Maybe someday going forward, we'll be able to show you how to put your own avatar in if you want, but that's a subject for another day. In any case, by default, what we see is this third person level. Now this assumes that you've at least, what I'm going to show you, assumes that you've at least started to create your own map level. Let me show you what I have so far, again, based on what you've already seen in some previous videos. We have the Illustra map, and the Illustra map, again, looks like this. We can play the Illustra map. As you see it there, I'm going to stop. What if we want that to be our default place to start and our default place when we're in edit mode? So when we open this particular template, which we know contains a particular a template map that we're working on. And again, we're suggesting, by the way, that if you're working on 3 levels, you create a template file for each map. Keep them clean, keep them separate. Will make life easier for you and us. So, okay, let's say I want this to be the default map I edit in and the default map that I um, will use for testing when you hit the play button. So what do we need to do? Let me just get this back to where it was. Third person maps. I'll get my third person map back up to show you this works. We're gonna go to File. I'm sorry. We're gonna put the menu and we're gonna go to Project Settings. And in the Project Settings, we have a place called, and I'm gonna bring this over, this because I have it on separate menu on separate screens, but this will show up as a tab in your system. It shows us some basic information about our project. What we're interested in here is maps and modes. And so I'm going to select that. This selects our game mode template, which by the way is a C++ object, or a C++ game object, game mode. So, but here's where we can change things. Where does the editor start up? Where does the game start up by default? Since we don't really want to keep having to switch over like I did, you saw me do, we can go ahead and say, hey, what level would I like to choose? Now you see this level map for the third level, the starter map, the minimal default, and you see all that, but you'll see the Illustra level is there. So I'm going to say, when I go into edit, I want this to be my startup map. And when I play and test, I want that same level to be my default. It just puts us in the right place at the right time so that everything is ready to go. So I'm going to close that. And that is now my default. So when I start this project up, that's where I'm going to be. And I'm going to actually do that. I'm going to do a file save all just to show you that it works. And now that it's all saved, I'm going to close it. Forgive seeing my desktop temporarily here. And let me fire back up. And let me drag it over. Launch. Just want you to see that this all works. And hopefully this doesn't take too long. Should go quick, it's small. Or not. 83%, we're almost there. We're almost there. And then I'm gonna launch my project. Which, by the way, right now this is still my default name. let me get this create window over here for you so you can see it. By default, this is my create template name. You probably will want to have it be like Alestra or something like that, but I'm going to open this project. And it's loading. Unfortunately, the loading screen is over on my other monitor. And it's almost there. And there we are. Now you see I'm in edit mode in my Alestra map. If I go to play, I'm playing in my Alestra map. Now, I promised you that there was a way to change the avatar. And built into Mannequin, there are 2 mannequins. Let me just show you there. This under character, under mesh, you see we have the regular mannequin right here, and we have this female mannequin. So how do we make that the default, the female one, the default? Well, what's going to happen is that this opens. This is our game mode in C++, and I don't know if I can show you this easily or not. Let me see if I can. Oh, I can. This will work. Yeah, this will show you. What you see is this C++ class simply opens this blueprint with third point character. I'm going to get that out of the way. So let's go find that. So that means that was up at game, third person blueprints. And if we open the third person character, well, again, I have all these going to separate windows for me, but you'll see them as an additional tab. We see a data-only blueprint, and I'm going to scan down this data-only blueprint to show you the skeletal mesh that's associated with it. Right now, this is associated with the default. So I'm going to pull this menu option up, and you'll see that it found that there's another skeletal mesh that we can do. Now, if you were just to close this, no changes. This is a blueprint, maybe only a data-only blueprint, but it has to be recompiled. So we're going to click the compile button, and that's just a general note. As you're working with blueprints, you make a change, you have to compile it before the change takes effect. And the same as if you made changes, if you were a C++ programmer and you were modifying classes over here, you have to compile it or those changes will happen. So I'm going to close this. It's compiled. I'm going to do a save all. It's pretty convenient. At this point, we should be ready to go. Let me just hit play. And I'm hitting play with this new avatar. And of course, I made a change, so always good to rebuild. Depending on the complexity of your level, because sometimes it can take a while. And we're all good. And it's rebuilding, doing its thing. Again, it's all easy while the levels are simple. So, there you see it. This is my default map that I'm working on. I've got the avatar I want, and of course, in theory, you could probably put any UE4 avatar that you really like to work with, as long as it has, it's this default skeletal map that comes with the UE4 that has the mapping between the skin and that skeleton. And of course it runs, let me just show you real quick. And of course it at least is set up, it's been remapped for, let me show you, where is that at? These animations, these default animations. So again, if you know something about characters, you know how to do that. That's beyond this video. But maybe we'll do one. Maybe we'll take a character and show how that, yep, it's got the same mesh, and the mapping has been done of the skin to the skeleton, and how we would make sure that it maps to these particular animations so that we have the default stuff when you're working with your map and testing it. But that's, again, a possibility for another day. In any case, there you go. Your map, your choice of the default avatar or this female-looking one. And happy editing in Moose. We'll see you later.